welcome, my friends. Welcome to my broadcast. This is a special broadcast that I'm actually putting together today. I don't have any videos to share. I don't have no stuff to actually share in this video, but I did want to give a recap on my progress. My progress has been astounding. Um, I want to take you back to February. February of this year, I was I was desperate. I needed answers. I needed somebody to show me what needed to be done. I needed to reverse my metabolic state. It has not been an easy road. It really has not. Um, I don't know. I mean, I did it. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure somebody else can. There's thousands of people out there doing this. Thousands of people doing this. And, I created this page because I was actually walking and I carry along a phone and then I would kind of like listening to my doctor that, shouting in my ear and giving me that rah, 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 and I would actually, you know, share what I'm listening to and what is going on in my head. And well, a long process. I didn't want to do that no longer. But I do want to come on here periodically. I do want to have a YouTube channel where I can actually share and teach and show people that there is hope. There is hope. I'll tell you, in February, I was losing hope. I had blood glucose that was shooting up over 400. Uh, and I had no understanding of what was going on. None. And I I took a leap of faith. I took a leap of faith. I knew this doctor on YouTube. He's got millions of followers. He does a Monday broadcast every Monday, and I took a leap of faith. I mean, what do I got? What do I got to lose? What do I got to lose? His program is so simple, so simple. So again, to take you back to February, glucose up over 400. I had my insurance company calling me because they actually gave me the monitor to do my glucose, and when it goes up over 400, they notify me, and they reach out to me, and they point me in different directions. So, needless to say, glucose over 400. I finally got hooked into an endocrinologist up in Erie, PA. Just has been a godsend since day one. And but they're not completely the reason that I got better. I mean, I give a lot of credit to them. They give me the blood, they do the blood work, and they give me the results, and they make sure all that everything's going good. But it's Dr. Ken Berry. Dr. Ken Berry on YouTube. And I always say, you ever want to learn something? You ever want to learn something? Go to YouTube. There's millions of people around the world that they want to learn to fix something in their house, or they want to learn to fix something on their car, or they have a question about this or a question about that. Where do they go? You know, they can't phone a friend. Well, sometimes they can, but you can't phone a friend. So where do you go? You go to YouTube, punch it in the search area. You know, and so I've been following Dr. Berry for a little while now, and I thought it was completely ridiculous. I really did. I didn't. I mean, how could the possibility of being uh, in the ketogenic realm of things? And I started out slow. I started out really slow. I thought what I was doing in February was correct. Farthest from being correct. And so I stepped out and I kept learning and I kept learning and kept nurturing, gathering the nuggets, gathering the, not the chicken nuggets, but gathering the nuggets that I needed to change and reverse my metabolic state. So my A1C in February, all right, when I went to the endocrinologist was 11.5. 11.5, 14 hospitalized. I said, I had such a scare. It's kind of like, what do? I don't even know how to correct this. I don't even know how to correct it. Nobody wants to show me, and it's like, so I dug deep. I dug deep back into the YouTube U. I dug deep into YouTube U, and I started researching Dr. Ken Berry again. Metabolic state, how to reverse type 2 diabetes, how to gain control of your metabolic state. And sure enough, Dr. Ken Berry was all I needed to reverse that diabetes. Now, of course, he had the information. All right, he had the information, and it's not like information you find on Facebook, where you listen to this guru that says, "Hey, we have the cure," and all of a sudden gives you this long spiel of how, well, not how they're going to cure you, but what your whole thing's going about, and then really not give you any answers on the other side. And then when you do answer and want to get more information, it costs you a fortune. I mean, I jumped into one of those. I did. I jumped into one of those, and I paid $850 for a very extensive blood work workup. Never met these people in my life. I paid the $800. I got the work done. I got the workup all done on it, and I got the results of the blood work, and so then they said, "Hey, we can fix you. We can fix you." I says, "Great." I says, "And how much is that going to cost?" He says, "Well, for you, Mr. Jones, we are going to give you a great break. We know that you're desperate to have us come and help you and nurture you along to get to better health and this and that." And she says, "We're going to do this all, and we're going to spend a lot of time on Zoom calls and showing you the direction and all this and that." And she said keywords like fatty liver, or fatty liver was one of them. She says, "My body was so full of toxin that your liver's not filtering out the toxins." Says your A1C is completely off the charts, and but we can fix you. This is great. So I paid $850 for this blood work. All right, this extensive blood work to get the knowledge of what's wrong with me. All right, now I got to pay the price to have them fix me. All right, you hope you're sitting down. $14,000. And I just like, are you kidding me? $14,000 to fix me. I just like, I don't know how I justify it. Where am I going to get $14,000 to fix? As desperate as I was, I didn't have $14,000 to fix me. I just closed my business. So I have time to search for something to fix me. So I had this knowledge of fatty liver. If I fix the fatty liver, maybe I'll take some of the toxins out of my body. So I YouTube you in the search bar, fatty liver, boom, Dr. Berry, Dr. Berry, Dr. Berry, Dr. Berry. Everything I searched for pointed directly at Dr. Berry. How is that God telling you? Never once has Dr. Berry ever reached out to get paid for his services. Not once. He didn't want $14,000. He didn't want $1. But he was willing to teach you and tell you and what you needed to know to better your health. And so I just absorbed like a sponge. I was walking around with a headset, and I was sucking up all this information. I was gathering the nuggets that I needed to go on this journey. And so I set out on this journey in February. I said, I can't justify $14,000. I turned people down. So $14,000, I says, I'm sorry, but I got to find another way to fix me. Because I had no clue how to do it. No clue. People can all day long tell you that you're a type 2 diabetic, and they can give you all this information. Oh, eat more leafy green vegetables. Oh, eat this, so you juice that, or cut out this or cut out that. But really never give you the real thing to do. And so Dr. Berry did. And never asked for a damn dime. And I watch him to this day. Now, of course, I've expanded my horizons, and I watch a lot of other experts that are in the same realm. So, needless to say, I started out with, I jumped right into keto carnivore. I said, okay, we're going to do mainly meat, and we're going to do probably some veg, and maybe some nuts or something. I don't know. But the more I got into it, the more I got involved with what was going on. I started checking my blood glucose more. I started checking it 4, 5, 6 times a day, just to get the numbers, the logistics of what I was putting in here. It's all about what you're putting in here that dictates on where that level of intensity that you are going to be at. And that's all it was. That's all it was. And so I refined it. So February was my start. That's when the beginning began. And I started doing what I thought was correct. But as I got more involved with his knowledge and some of his videos, I graduated to a hamburger. So I was eating just meat, and he calls it the triple B&E: beef, bacon, beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. Beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. The proper human diet. You got to take yourself back to when the people in the 20s and the 30s were eating. Did we have fat people then? We sure did. But they were the minority. not the majority. Fat people were circus entertainers. I remember this from going to the circus. There's always the fat man, because our eating habits have gotten completely out of whack. So I started out with keto carnivore. So I was eating two times a day, and I'd take my lunch into work, and I'd have my sliced ham, I'd have my Ritz crackers, I'd have my cheese, and I'd have my probably celery sticks. Sounds pretty good, right? I mean, I'm cutting back. I cut out my carbs, except for the carbs I was eating. So I thought I was on the right track. Well, needless to say, I went right from keto carnivore to carnivore because my metabolic state needed the extreme. And really, carnivore is not the extreme. There's another level to this whole thing. There's another level. There's keto carnivore, there's carnivore, and then there's lion. Lion is just meat, salt, butter, and eggs. Meat, salt, butter, and water. Cut out all carbs. So I set out, and in 3 months, just doing a keto carnivore type lifestyle. All right, now, of course, I was still trying to figure it all out. I took my A1C from 11.5 to 6.5. Doctors were astounded. My endocrinologist in Erie just like, hurrah, you did great. You know, I mean, you did fantastic. Your numbers are good. She says, you're on the right track. Continue to keep doing what you're doing and enhance it. Be better at it. And so I said, okay. So I came back with a whole different program. I said, well, this is what I need to do. I need to go OMAD. Eat one meal a day. I'm going to eat at noon every day. And when I'm done, because Dr. Ken Berry teaches that eat until you're satisfully stuffed. You're full. I said, fat man's first thing he can do is eat till he's full, right? So I'd take some hamburger and I'd throw it in the pan. Now, I never weighed it. I mean, it was probably a 2-pound piece of hamburger. Or it's probably about 1.5 pounds at least. I'd chop up some onions, chop up some peppers. I'd fry it all together. I'd put some taco seasoning on top of that, and boom. I wouldn't even drain the grease. He says fat's good for you. Fat is good for you. Fat burns fat. Okay. So what I did is I just threw the scrambled eggs on top of that, and then I threw cheese on top of that. Woo! Now I'm telling you what. That was some good eats. Good eats. And I'll tell you, that's how I started my carnivore. Still a little keto, but it was carnivore. I was eating hamburger. I was eating meat. I was cutting out more carbohydrates. I was, the standard American diet. I was just cutting them out. Burger. I was flying through hamburger. Started having some weight loss. Some things started changing. Of course, now my A1C was at 6.5. I'm determined to get it even lower. I says, if I can do this, I can do that. And the average A1C is 5. The grade A1C was 4.5. All right. Very hard to reach, 4.5. So I refined my diet again. So now I'm eating just, I'm cutting out the cheese because the cheese was stalling me. The weight wasn't coming off anymore. So I had to refine and refine and refine and refine. And that's what I did. I watched my numbers. My glucose monitor told me exactly what was going on. Now I was taking 45 units of insulin at that time. And I was taking 2 metformin during the morning, 2 metformin at night. And I was taking high blood pressure, and I was taking another drug of some sort. And then they started me on the Monjova. And I was taking all these meds, costing me a fortune. And it's and so when I got back with my 6.5, I started realizing though that the cleaner my diet got to a carnivore lifestyle, the cleaner it got. I started eating ribeye steaks. And people right away say, well, I can't afford a ribeye steak. I can't afford to eat ribeye steak every day. Okay, now let me kick that around a little bit. All right. I was spending all this money for medication. All of this money for medication. All right. Thank God I had insurance, because insurance picked up a better portion of it. But I still had out-of-pocket money. I had a copay. I switched my diet to ribeye steaks. So my average meal now, one time a day, I eat a big, thick cut piece of ribeye steak. Boom. Right here at Save a Lot, right here in Conneaut, you buy 2 ribeye steaks, a little more than $10. I'm going to say probably let's do 12. Let's do $12. All right. So we're looking at $6 a steak. $6 a steak, 4 eggs. That's my diet. That's my diet. I ate 4 eggs and my ribeye steak. I had butter. I had water. That was my diet. I ate one time a day. And I took my A1C from 6.5 to 4.9. I just had my meeting with my endocrinologist. She took me off of all my meds. She said our job is done. So I continue on this process, and people tell me that, gee, I couldn't afford to eat ribeye steaks every day. My basic meal that I eat every day, and I probably got it down to a penny, cost me less than $8 a meal. $8. Now, you foolish people out there that think that you can't eat ribeye steak every day. All right. So I'm gonna tell you what your day looks like. You get up in the morning, you run out the door, run down to McDonald's, buy yourself a couple egg McMuffins or whatever, maybe a hash brown, maybe a Coke. I'm going to say probably $12, $15. All right. 2 hours later, you're hitting the vending machine. You're getting another Coke. You're getting maybe a candy bar or a bag of chips. There's another $6, $7. All right. So that's just breakfast and snack. Now lunch. Lunch comes around. And of course, you call the local eatery, order your whatever, whatever, whatever. All right. And it comes to $15. And that's on the cheap side because it's probably going to cost you more because you're getting it delivered. Because you got to deliver it to work, right? So there's 15. It's another $5 or $6 for the vending machine. Another 15. 2 hours later, you're hungry. So what do? You go to the vending machine. Another $6, maybe 10. You buy a buddy a pop or something. All right. So 15. I don't even know where the numbers went now. But anyhow, you see where breakfast was, snack was, lunch was, snack was. Now we're at dinner. Probably go down to the local pub, get yourself a burger and fries and a couple beers. Have yourself a dinner. Stop off at Dairy Queen, get yourself some ice cream. Go home for the evening, and probably a bag of chips to top off the night as a nightcap. So what I'm trying to gather at, you spend so much more money feeding this hole. You spend so much more money feeding this whole pointless crap, the standard American diet that does nothing but make you metabolically sick. And you do it day after day after day. My meal cost me $8. I no longer have medications that I have to purchase. Qualified to my doctor saying, don't buy them no more. I'll see you in 3 months. So the savings that I have on a monthly basis for medication, I should really crunch the numbers because it'd probably make my head spin, far outweighs my $8 meal that I eat one time a day. Because I eat that ribeye steak. And boy, I've gotten good at cooking them too. Woo! I cook you a mean ribeye and make your mouth water. And I cook my 4 eggs. My eggs on this plate, put my steak on this plate. Salt and pepper. A glass of water. And after I'm done with that steak and those eggs, I'm full. I am so full, right, to the fact that my body on the inside is going, rah! You finally gave me something to work with. Instead of all that pointless, carb-addicted crap that's out there in this world. Now, yes, this is my soapbox. Because of the fact I see sick people all day long. And I started noticing people when my weight started coming off and my numbers got better and I got healthier. I'm now, I age every year, but then I also decrease as I'm aging forward. I'm getting younger instead of older. And it's all because I eat that one meal a day that costs me $8. So those people out there that actually tell me, it's like, well, I couldn't eat ribeye every day. Cut out the crap that's killing you. That's all there is. Cut the crap that's killing you. The standard American diet is killing people slowly. So people ask me, so, well, why carnivore? Why just meat? Why just meat and eggs? Because it works. Because it works. Now, I could probably, and I guess I have. I mean, I could probably go out, and I guess it's because I am so crazed about this thing that, I mean, I'm afraid to get addicted again. I'm afraid to get addicted to the standard American diet because I've done so well with the carnivore diet that I thought was completely out of this world. Completely out of this world. But it works. It works. So from February to now, all right, that's what, 3, 6, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, 7, 8 months. I started out at 260 pounds. All right. My start out wasn't great. You know, I was not doing what I was supposed to be doing. But the closer I got to carnivore, the closer I got to just meat and eggs, butter, bacon, the closer I got to that, my metabolic state came in check. My diabetes was under control. I no longer had this urge of drinking bottles of water. I could take a bottle of water and I could slam it. Didn't matter how cold it was. I could slam that whole bottle of water. And I noticed that my thirst wasn't there no more. My diabetes was being beaten down because of the nutrition that was actually being absorbed into my body. Some people say I can't give up my ho-hos and my Twinkies. I can't give up my McRibs or my McDonald's crap. Right? I'm going to tell you. You know, it doesn't matter if you're fat. It doesn't matter if you're skinny. Because fatty liver happens to both. Fat and skinny. Yeah. You ever wonder why some diabetics are skinny? You ever wonder why? It's because of the crap they're eating. See, if we just understand this one simple thing, all right, if we took ourselves back to 1925, 1935, 1945, we didn't have McDonald's. We didn't have Frankenfoods. We didn't have all this crap on Walmart and grocery stores around the globe. We didn't have that stuff sitting in there that had all this sugar, all these carbohydrates. We didn't have this stuff back then. So we had very little fat people. I don't know how to explain it anymore. But 8 months has gone by. 7 months has gone by. 3, 6, 7 months, 8 months. I don't know. It's not going to stop because I refuse to eat standard American crap. And if you want to change your metabolic state, all right, so my weight has come down to, I weighed in at the doctor's office at 195 pounds. 195 pounds. I'm never, ever hungry. I eat one time a day. I eat my ribeye, my 4 eggs, and I'm never hungry. Because that food nourishes my body to the point where it doesn't need a snack. It doesn't need another meal. It doesn't need 3 meals a day. We're not designed to eat like that. So, well, people say, well, I can't give up my vegetables. Well, let's go there. Let's go there. All right. Vegetables are something that was actually created because we couldn't raise enough beef. We couldn't raise enough meat. So it was.
What? Hi, Bonnie Knapp. Are you on there?
No, there's nobody on there.
He's messaging me. Tell me about his diet.
So anyhow, my wife just completely just messes up my mind. But anyhow, so let's go to the vegetarian thing. And and I was a big juicer. When I got out of the restaurant business, I became juicing, thinking, okay, that was the way to go. It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. I mean, if you look back at I eat what eats vegetables, which grazes the land. That's what I eat. That cow has multiple stomachs, so it's able to break down and digest and actually be really good. It's the only animal. Well, I'm sure there's others, but the only cow that I know of that can actually do that. It grazes all day long, and it grazes on vegetation. So I eat what eats vegetation, which has all the nutrients, which has all the vitamins, which has everything that's substance that goes into me. All right, so I eat that one time a day. I don't need no more food. I fast for 24 hours. I don't eat again until noon the next day. So my body goes into ketosis, and it actually burns the fat for the fuel. And so, my wife always said, "Well, that I always do," because I started walking, and I started walking quite a distance, and I was up to 5 miles a day. Now, needless to say, I didn't start there because I was lucky to go up halfway up the road. But I made it, so it was kind of a ritual that I walked 5 miles every day. And she thought that was the reason why I was losing weight. She says, "No, it was the standard. It was the standard diet that I was eating. It was the meat, the eggs. It was the protein that I was putting in me that it gave me the energy to do the walks." And so now I'm off all my meds. I don't take any of them. So when people actually tell me that, I couldn't eat a ribeye steak every day. Well, if you're spending $15 or even $10 for breakfast, $5 for a snack, $15 for lunch, and then spending another $20, $25 for dinner, and then probably having a snack after that. To have a ribeye steak every day? No, you couldn't afford it. But because it's all I have is one time a day, I have that one ribeye steak, and that's all I do. That's just, that Dr. Ken Berry lays it all out on his YouTube. And all you have to do is tune in. Oh, that's right. You gotta go to tennis meeting, huh? Oh, you got off on time. So it's simple. It really is. Go to YouTube, type in the search bar, Dr. Ken Berry. He is the only PhD, right? The only medical practicing doctor. Well, not the only one, but he's the one I actually got hooked in with that will never ask for a dime. He doesn't have a product to sell. He has information that he himself was obese, used the proper human diet and the carnivore lifestyle to get his life back in check. So 41 minutes of rambling. Hope you got something out of that. I'll be back with another one, and we'll discuss this further. But, think about it. Where do you want your metabolic state? You want to start turning that clock back. So instead of being 60, you're actually less than that. I was talking to a person that was listening now because, of course, she sees me and, who I am. What? Lisa wants to stay here. It's fine.
You're not the lock one? I can go.
That's fine. So, needless to say, I mean, life is full of choices. I closed my store because I needed to concentrate on me. I had to get answers from me because the store and work were taking way too much time out of my day to research and fix me. So the neuropathy in my feet super hurt so bad. Gone. Neuropathy in my feet is gone. I no longer sleep with the CPAP machine. No longer. I have slept with that frickin' machine strapped to my face for probably more than 30 years. You could not be in the same room if I was sleeping. It was like a freight train coming through it. I no longer sleep with that. I said, I'm not going to use it. And I did one night. I woke up the next morning pretty rested. I mean, I always feared when the lights went out. Some nights when it's windy outside and the lights go out, I fear those nights because my machine takes electricity. So I no longer have to fear that. So I asked my wife, I says, well, did I snore? She says, I didn't even hear you and even knew you were in the room. And you know what? I went looking for answers for that, going, what's this? What's this thing you're talking about? Fatty tongue thing. This fatty tongue. Well, what's that? The first place you gain weight, everybody thinks it's either in the butt, the hips, or the belly. Your tongue is the first thing that gains weight. Your fatty tongue makes you snore. Your fatty tongue makes you stop breathing while you're sleeping. It doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. It's easily corrected with just the proper human diet. No longer a diabetic. Sleep apnea is gone. Neuropathy is gone. Body is healing. Every day I notice something a little bit different. A little more different to what's going on and what I couldn't do before I can do now. And one thing that I can, and I'm still hoping, because the further my diabetes went along, my eyesight started going. It's hard for me to sit and read anymore. I can do audiobooks all day long. I can do videos all day long. But it's hard for me to sit and read because my eyes don't focus the letters anymore. And so I asked my endocrinologist, I says, do you have anything for me like that? I mean, what's your words of wisdoms? I've got all kinds of people, telling me stuff that it's going to correct itself. It's going to correct itself. It's going to correct itself. And she says, yeah, it will. As long as you stay on your course. Whew. So, lots of success. Lots of really cool things going on. I have never been one 195 pounds. I was never 195 pounds in high school. In junior high, I was never 195 pounds. You reverse the genetics. There's always an argument out there. Somebody says, well, I can't help it. Diabetes is in the family. My mom had it. My dad had it. My sister has it. My brother has it. Bullshit. Diabetes is not hereditary. It is not passed down. You know what is passed down? The crappy American diet is passed down. That's what's passed down. It's what you put in this hole that makes all the difference in the world. So I hope you get something out of this. Kind of put myself out there because this isn't normally me. But Dr. Kinberry said, now it's time to repay me. He says, share your story. So as simple as my story might be, it was not easy. But was sure determination and will. And hearing all the people in the beginning, you're on the wrong path. You're on the wrong path. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to do this. You got to do that. I put the blinders on. I put the earplugs in. Full straight ahead. Don't listen to me. Go to Dr. Ken Berry. He's got all the answers. Oh, I'm so sorry. This is Dave Jones. Walk and talk. Be the best you can be. We're out.